Well, good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well. And this is your Royal Daily News for September 20th, 2022. In Den Haag, Their Majesties King Willem-Alexander and Queen Maxima of the Netherlands, accompanied by Her Royal Highness Princess Catharina-Amalia, Princess of Oranje, and their Royal Highnesses Prince Constantijn and Princess Laurentien of the Netherlands, attended Prinsjesdag, otherwise known as the State Opening of Parliament, held at the Royal Theatre. Prinsjesdag, and I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing that, and I have no doubt that I'll get a bunch of hate mail and comments from Dutch viewers, is held on the third Tuesday in September, in which the sovereign delivers his speech from the throne. In the speech, the government outlines its plans for the coming year and reflects on the current situation in the Netherlands. According to the Dutch newspaper, Dutch News, cleverly entitled, the glass carriage that transported the royal family from the Palais Royal to the Royal Theatre was, quote, met with a mix of cheers and boos. Some protesters held up inverted flags, which has become the symbol of the farmers' protests, end quote. The newspaper also noted that in His Majesty's speech, the king acknowledged that the Netherlands is, quote, going through a time of paradox and uncertainty that has shaken people's trust in the government's ability to solve society's problems. The somber tone of His Majesty's speech reflected the multiple challenges the cabinet faces, such as soaring energy bills, rising inflation, the war in Ukraine, and farmers' protests against plans to reduce nitrogen compound emissions, end quote. After the state opening of Parliament, the royal family returned to Palais Royal, where they appeared on the balcony to wave to the crowds waiting to get a glimpse of their king and queen. The day ended with the royal family watching the cavalry honorary escort pay a salute in honor of His Majesty the King in the backyard at the Palais Royal. And I'm pretty sure I mispronounced that too, but that's okay. In Brussels, His Majesty King Philippe of the Belgians held an audience with the Royal Order of the Equestrian Fisherman held at the Palais Royal. During today's meeting, the chairman of the order, Mr. Mark Sir Jacobs, per tradition, presented His Majesty with a bucket full of freshly caught shrimp. Well, that was thoughtful. In the afternoon, Their Majesties King Philippe and Queen Mathilde of the Belgians hosted a luncheon meeting with rectors from various Belgian universities. During the luncheon, discussions focused on the evolution of higher education in Belgium, scientific research, inter-university collaborations, and, quote, the place of universities in Belgian society, end quote. In Madrid, His Majesty King Felipe VI of Spain attended the 5th edition of the Premio Camino Real, held inside the auditorium de la Universidad de Alcalá. The award, granted by the Franklin Institute of the Universidad de Alcalá, recognizes the professional work of Spaniards who, in an outstanding and exemplary way, project and enhance the positive image of Spain in the United States. During today's ceremony, His Majesty presented the Premio Camino Real to legendary tennis player and overall nice guy, Mr. Rafael Nadal. Mr. Nadal received the award for his, quote, image of Spain in North America through his triumph in the U.S. Open 2019, as well as in previous editions of 2010, 2013, 2017, and in other tournaments played in North America. In addition, Mr. Nadal's involvement in different social actions, specifically from the Rafael Nadal Foundation, which integrates vulnerable minors or young people with intellectual disabilities, end quote. In New York City, Her Majesty Queen Letizia of Spain participated in a meeting with UNICEF mental health experts held at the Inside by Malia New York Nomad. Later, Her Majesty held a meeting with youth leaders involved in mental health initiatives, which were held within the framework of the United Nations General Assembly Week and the Secretary-General's Summit for the Transformation of Education. Also in New York City, His Majesty King Abdullah II of Jordan and His Royal Highness Crown Prince Al Hussein bin Abdullah II of Jordan, accompanied by a Jordanian delegation, arrived at the United Nations headquarters to participate in the 77th General Debate of the United Nations General Assembly. the General Debate of the United Nations General Assembly is the opportunity for heads of state and government to come together at the UN headquarters to discuss world issues. His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the Emir of Qatar, also gave a speech during the 77th General Debate of the United Nations General Assembly. Meanwhile, Her Majesty Queen Rania of Jordan participated in the plenary session entitled Home during the 2022 Clinton Global Initiative meeting. Per a press release regarding today's session, quote, "Today, 1 in every 78 people on Earth has been forced to leave their homes, the highest number on record, due to political persecution, conflict, violence, and climate change. For many others, natural disasters and a lack of housing and public services threaten their ability to stay rooted in their communities. While these trends present both short and long-term challenges, it prompts an important question. What does it mean to be at home?" In this plenary session, speakers explored how to foster community and belonging in an increasingly unstable world. End quote. This morning, at the United Nations headquarters, His Royal Highness Crown Prince Frederik of Denmark, accompanied by the Prime Minister of Denmark, Ms. Mette Frederiksen, attended the opening session of the 77th General Debate of the United Nations General Assembly. Thereafter, the Crown Prince, as patron of Food Nation Network, accompanied by a Danish delegation, attended the opening of the conference entitled Sustainable Food: How Alternative Food Production and Consumption Can Combat Climate Change, organized by the Consulate General of Denmark in cooperation with Food Nation Denmark. During the event, discussions focused on the, quote, sustainable production of food goods, end quote. In the afternoon, Crown Prince Frederik, as patron of a State of Green, gave a speech during the event entitled Countdown to 2030, a New Era for Public-Private Climate Action, organized by the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority and the Danish Clean Tech Hub, State of Green, as well as a confederation of Danish industry. This afternoon's meeting focused on how public and private partnerships can strengthen the green transition. Soon, Crown Prince Frederik and his Danish delegation arrived at the training vessel Denmark to attend the annual Nordic ministerial meeting between Nordic ministers and foreign ministers of 8 member states of the Central American Integration System, which includes Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama, and the Dominican Republic. During the luncheon, discussions focused on climate change and the role of small states in upholding the international rule-based order of the 77th United Nations General Assembly. In Alcalá, their Royal Highnesses Crown Princess Victoria and Prince Daniel of Sweden participated in the 2022 Freedom to Roam Day. Freedom to Roam Day is a Swedish law that guarantees the general public's right to access certain public or privately owned land, lakes, and rivers for recreation and exercise. During this morning's walk, the Crown Princess couple, along with children and young adults, as well as representatives from several nature organizations and the Swedish Tourist Association, walked from the center of Alcalá to Äggby, which is a farm just outside of Stockholm. Throughout the day, the Crown Princess couple, the children, young adults, and the representatives learned about the importance of, quote, public access rights and how everyone can care for and protect nature, end quote. Yesterday afternoon in Stockholm, their Royal Highnesses Crown Princess Victoria and Prince Daniel of Sweden visited the Church of England to light candles in memory of the late Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Thereafter, the Crown Princess couple arrived at the residence of the British Ambassador to Sweden, Her Excellency Judith Goh, to sign the Book of Condolence. On Monday in Paris, Her Royal Highness Princess Marie of Denmark gave a speech during the webinar entitled Enabling Green and Digital Innovation to Fight Food Waste in Europe. Meanwhile, in Vaduz, His Serene Highness Prince Hans Adam II of Liechtenstein held an audience with choir master and organist from the municipality of Schellenberg, Mr. Werner Marxer, held at Schloss Vaduz. During their meeting, the prince presented Liechtenstein's Medal of Merit to Mr. Marxer for his, quote, special services to the country of Liechtenstein, end quote. In Tokyo, the Imperial Household Agency announced that His Imperial Majesty Emeritus Emperor Akihito of Japan underwent cataract surgery on his left eye at the University of Tokyo Hospital on Monday. The 88-year-old Emeritus Emperor Akihito is slated to undergo cataract and glaucoma surgery on his right eye on Sunday. On Saturday in Monacoville, His Serene Highness Prince Albert II of Monaco, as patron, sent a video message to the attendees of the 2022 African Conservation Awards. In his video message, the Sovereign Prince reminded the attendees of the, quote, threats and dangers this selfless group of individuals face, end quote, by referring to the assassination of Best Game Ranger Award finalist Mr. Anton Menzimba. Prince Albert II went on to say, quote, it reminds us of the importance of your profession, the risks you face on a day-to-day basis, but also the determination and the dangerous nature of those you confront and whom you often face alone. I applaud the fact that you are now honoring all heroes of biodiversity beyond the rhino alone. You are the fighting vanguard of a global movement which should be promoted, encouraged, supported, and prolonged by all of us, end quote. And finally, on Saturday in Luxembourg City, His Royal Highness Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg attended the 14th edition of the Gymnastics European Championships held at Le Coq. And there you have it. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow on Wednesday, September 21st with all the latest royal news, and it's going to be a very busy day. There are a lot of monarchs, European monarchs and royals in New York City this week to attend the United Nations General Assembly and other side events, including Her Royal Highness Crown Princess Mary of Denmark, as well as Her Majesty Queen Maxima of the Netherlands. She will be there too. So, with that being said, I wish you all a wonderful evening and a great day tomorrow. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, take care everyone. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.